So you know you're going to introduce me, right? You got that text, Felipe?
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're live, everybody. Everybody, we're going to come back in 5 seconds.
Welcome to the EBFC Show, the easier, better for construction podcast. I'm your host, Felipe Engineer Manriquez. This show is all about the business of construction.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the EBFC Show live stream. I'm your host, Felipe Engineer Manriquez. I am so excited to have my good friends Armando and Jason on the show today. We're going to be talking about the ABCs of construction. We're going to be going deep into some lessons learned and to give some back and forth comments, as well as understanding who's here and answering your questions live as they come, as we go. But first and foremost, let's give some introductions, starting with A is for Armando. Armando is going to go first. I'm going to try to introduce him, and he's going to correct me if I mess anything up. This is Armando Tunales. Armando is a real-life general superintendent at Holt Construction. He is a loan enthusiast, but he is not really a lean guy, which is false, because Armando, you're fit and trim. You're definitely lean and a lean thinker. So welcome to the show, Armando. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, thank you for having me. And I'm really enthused about being here with Felipe and Jason. And, you know, that general superintendent that Jason talks about in a negative way, I am that guy. And, you know, I'm just admitting it. So here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. And then also here, last but not least, one of my favorite brothers from another mother, Mr. Jason Schroeder. Jason, you have the honor and privilege to introduce yourself to the good people at the EBFC show. How could they not know you? But if for those that don't, please tell them who you are.
Well, I will give you a jam. And thank you for being here. I'm honored to be with both of you. So I like that he introduced me as that guy that Jason criticized. I'm not sure that's a great attribute on my part, but here's my intro. I love people. I tend to be sort of an a-hole sometimes. My wife and I are complete opposites. We have 11 beautiful children, and my wife bought a dog while I was on a road trip, and then blamed it on me and told me it's my dog, and now I have to go and get it shots and take it to the lake with me and clean up after it and everything. And I'm like, what in the world just So I talk a lot about having control, but I have no control over my family. I absolutely none whatsoever. So that's my intro. Was that good enough for you?
Oh my God, that intro was so beautiful. That was round of applause worthy. Jason, you never ever have disappointed me. Never once. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is going to be about the construction ABCs. We're going to share some lessons learned, and we want to hear from you in the audience. Where are you calling in from today? We're going to play some music and bring you up on screen to shout out where are you from. Tell us in the comments. So today I'm joining from beautiful California. How about Jason, Armando? Where are you guys calling in from?
The Phoenix is rising. Is that correct, Jason?
Yeah, I just got in from Pensacola, Florida, and Mobile, Alabama. And I just flew in, like 40 minutes ago.
That's awesome. So I'm originally from Texas. Shout out to everybody in Texas. Love you guys.
Yep.
But I'm in New York, in Legoland. I mean, if you can see the motif behind me, I mean, legit. I'm on the Lego Ninjago floor. So this is awesome.
That is awesome. We've got from India, it looks like the furthest away, New Jersey, Delaware, Northern Virginia, Sacktown. Chris is in the house. George, I know George has got to be.
George!
Sarasota, Florida. Santiago, Chile. Ooh, the scroll is going so fast I can barely hit it. Now we got Ohio,
Victorious.
San Francisco,
DFW. I was just
place.
in Dallas. They have a storm. We cut your storm just now.
Oh, cool.
Just got the storm. I got to go to Tony twice. Tony, I'm so glad you're joining us today, Tony. And we've got Buddy from Mississippi.
DT, I see you, DT.
And Jake is here, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Harrell.
DFW.
Jake, how are you?
DFW.
Jake, how are you? 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 We've got Reno from Chicago, Cleveland,
Moving to
San
Texas like everybody else.
Look at that. Chris is in there. Oh, another. I don't want to assume that Ryan knows George, but maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he does. Yeah. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for chiming in where you're watching today. If I missed you, if you're watching this on the replay, tell us in the chat where you're watching this rebroadcast, because Jason, Armando, and I, we'd like to know where you all are coming from and where you're calling in from. So we'll keep popping this up, and we've got people joining in and coming back as well. But we're going to kick off the show right now, and we're going to go around and pick a letter to share a lesson learned or just what top of mind you have with these things and these comments coming on there. Holy Toledo is right. So since Jason, you're on the bottom, I say you get to go first. Okay. And so I'm going to I got the full alphabet here for you, Jason. Where would you like to go? What letter of the alphabet is tickling your fancy right now?
Oh man, I don't know what half of them mean, but let's go ahead and go to O.
Let's go to O. Yeah. O is wide open, Jason. Good job.
Oh wow! So this
you get to. Oh my gosh! You get to pick exactly what O is going to be about.
So any kind of topic?
Any topic you would like.
Do we have any questions from the audience, or no?
We have no questions from the audience yet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question for Jason, Armando, or myself, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and put your question in. I will get notifications, and we will answer all of your questions within a day or two. Give us a day or two to get the questions in. So Jason, anything for O, and we can, oh my gosh, come back.
Well, let's talk about technology.
Let's talk about tech. Let's go, Jason.
Okay. All right. So I was thinking. So this ties into. I feel like it's a really good one because Armando introduced me as the guy that criticizes people, and so I'm just going to own it. And I was writing in the last part of the Elevating Construction Senior Superintendent's book, and there's a little 7 deadly sins section that I have, and one of them is when people don't learn technology. And I was just thinking about it. And I was like, saying, hey, I don't know how to use a computer nowadays, whether it's for, doing mural or Miro stickies for Lean, or using a software for the last planner system, or doing a schedule or whatever. It's kind of like saying I don't know how to read and write. I was teasing some people. I was in front of about 40 superintendents when I was in Mobile, Alabama, and I was like, if you're under the age of 45, there's no excuse. Come on, guys. Like, there's just no excuse that you don't know how to use technology. So, hey, that's the topic that's been on my mind. So push back, Felipe. Armando, Any thoughts on that?
I've definitely got some thoughts on technology. I've been a part of many debates, Jason. You know that I love Lean, like anybody else. I love Lean so much. I've got special banners, and look at Armando's got the ticker there for Jake. Like, I love Lean so much, I just snap my fingers and it spreads across the screen. But Jason, technology can help or hinder people that are trying to use Lean tools and tactics. Like, have you seen a low-tech TAC plan and a high-tech TAC plan, Jason? Just as an example.
Oh, yeah.
What's a low-tech TAC plan that you've seen?
Those are some of my favorites, actually. I like the ones on just a regular sheet of graph paper. So I'm jamming with that.
Regular sheet of graph paper, and I've seen people wrapped around the cylinder with trying to learn some very complicated but well-intentioned software before they know how to use the tools and have the right process. So I would say technology that enables good processes that you have is awesome. So it's to make your life easier, but not to force people into a way of doing something. That's my approach.
I love it.
So that's where I want to put tech. Armando, how about you?
Yeah, so I've got 2 points on that, right? So O. So you talk about technology, that's T, but O, it might be an overburdened situation for somebody because of the C word, right? Capacity. Everybody has capacity. Go to W, right? I just learned recently that what I do is weaponizing my incompetence. So if you originated that and I heard that on your podcast last week, let us know in the chat, because that's what I've been doing. And Jason, just to be fair, it's not that you're picking on me in particular. I just fit the mold. So it's all good. Nothing personal.
Yeah.
He feels guilty. That's why he's got to bring it up. And I love Risa coming in with the one piece flow. And ladies and gentlemen, we've had amazing things come in for the letter O to help Jason,
Yeah.
Armand, and I. So we'd love the audience giving us like over budget, over commitment. Someone even shamelessly plugged open space. It's shameless plug for open space.
Well,
Right.
so I interestingly, I didn't catch that I had to come up with a word. Well, when you said it was optional,
Yeah, it's
I thought
optional.
I could choose any letter, but I guess
You
that's
can't.
not it.
You can
So-
choose any letter.
It's
Absolutely.
the
if I had to-
acronym
if-
TLDR.
If I had to redo it, I would choose open office spaces.
Okay.
Oh,
Open
okay.
office spaces.
I'm
Okay.
not
So
saying that we have to go there, but
all right, so I'm gonna spin it to Armando. Armando, I'm gonna put the Alpha stream back on here, the Alpha Getty stream back up. You've got the
Hey,
full.
why don't we show off some of the gifts that we went through so tirelessly to get on here?
So we've got for all the people thinking, be thinking. Armando knows he's the master of the gifts and the master of the memes. We've got, just in case anybody asks me about it, but I don't think anybody will. You know what that is.
You got a book about this, right?
I might have a book about that. We've got these shout out to our friends on the street, and we've
Yes,
got
sir.
some planners. Planners going to plan gifts. Your schedule is showing, or a schedule is showing. We've got Armando. What does this gift mean?
So that's the author, right? So we've got like a theme of grade school and what have you, and so this is A for angry, right? When you get angry, you ball up them fists, and hopefully you don't use them. Just internalize, but don't do anything rash.
Yep. Then we got look at that, Jason. We got the flashing light on the CPM or critical flow. And then we got Elmo's about to go on fire. Armando, what's the backstory on this Elmo on fire?
So I have no idea, but it looks cool. So we just threw it up there.
Okay, so we're just collecting things.
Well, real quick, I know some people that probably felt like they were in hell when somebody wouldn't Elmo a topic and move on. So,
And I've got my real Elmo up there on the back as well.
yeah, I like that.
We've got L for Legos because we play with Lego. We do a lot of simulations and a lot of play.
And that's a real picture. I took that, and that's where I am. So, yep, building blocks, baby.
He's live in New York, and then we've got this one. Armando, tell the people, what is this?
Scandalous. If you know, you know. I can't explain. You just, if you know, you know.
Damn, it's just going to be an inside joke. I think it's a kids' TV show, Jason.
Hey,
Jason,
but-
your kids watch this show?
I don't even get that. No, we don't even watch TV.
Okay, they don't even watch TV, so they don't. And then this is like, what does this look like to you, Jason?
To-do list. I don't know.
There you go. That's good. Yeah,
Okay.
to-do list. It's that simple, baby.
Okay, I like it.
So Armando, what letter is tickling your fancy now that you want to go to?
Well, I think we just did it. R for respect, right?
What's
we go over to R?
Is it like a rabbit hole.
Well, so it could be either or, right? Respect people. That's what lean do, right? That's what we're all about. Respect for people. I could stop at that definition. If you respect people, you respect people's time, you respect, their perspective, it's all good, right? But R can also mean rabbit trails. You can go down them. I think we just went down one with the memes, but it's all good. But what does it mean to you, Jason? What is your R?
So I would go when you said that I was thinking about respect for people. If I could have just 30 seconds, 60 seconds for a quick little story.
Got it.
I've been doing little sticky notes actually in Miro and Mural when I'm working with a group of people, and we talk about respect for people, and we talk about the let me draw back. I ask them, what does lean mean to you? And they'll put in their elimination of waste, this, that, or whatever, and I'll end up with like 40 or 50 stickies, and then I'll put them into a breakout room and say, hey, why don't you really talk about what the definition is, and when we come back, I'll have categorized them all into my definition, which my definition of lean is respect, stability, total participation, and then quality and continuous improvement. That's mine. And all of the stickies fit in the last three categories, and there were no stickies about respect. And I'm like, so what does that tell us? And it's not a shaming thing. It's a, what does that tell us? And the concept there is something that you all and Jennifer and Jesse taught me. Jesse taught me, which is, we don't talk enough about respect for people. We're taking the process, but we're leaving the people behind. And so my question is, do we respect people? Do we really respect customers? Do we respect our neighbors, the old lady on the corner that's next to our job sites? And then the fourth one, do we respect ourselves? Are we taking care of ourselves, our mental health, our wellness, our fitness, our finances, everything else? Are we doing that? That's what R means to me. Respect for people.
Yep, we've got Yesenia coming in with the respect yourself first. That is exactly where we start. So I'll chime in. I'm not going to even promise 30 seconds, Jason, but
Yeah, I made it though.
say, like when I go work with project teams, and this has been for a while, like half a lifetime for some people. But I find that most often when jobs are in trouble, the thing that is lacking is respect. And surprisingly, it's like what Yesenia said, respect yourself first. It's almost always people on the team, especially in leadership roles, that feel all this pressure and burden to deliver something, and they're sacrificing themselves at the expense of, you know, them. And then when they are sacrificed, they're not able to show up with compassion or create space for people. We did get we got some clarification on the open space. It was not a shameless plug, but it was actually the open space concept, I believe.
I don't think you're doing one piece flow now. I
Hot
think you're
tubs.
batching concepts. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. How do we get to open space now?
It was a rabbit hole, Jason. See how-
Okay, got it. We were still on R.
respect. Yeah, we're still on respect for people. There, it's right there.
Okay.
So I just want to show a rabbit trail, like it's, and then we got, people just popping in all the different R's. But seriously, when people, if you're working on a project team and you get a sense of the level of respect that people have, especially the leaders and the people doing the work, is low, that is something that you can focus on and make a positive change. And I've seen when you just step by it and you walk past it and you let it go, like Jason put a great post on LinkedIn today about a trashy job site or a messy job site. If we just step past these things and we don't stop and correct it in the moment, it builds up, it builds and builds and builds. And then it becomes like a big thing to try to overcome when it could have been a small thing. And so small things. Thank you, audience, for helping us with the respect. Thank you, Dr. M. Yes, self-awesome. Thank you, Rena. Another R. Look at all the R's just coming in. Right? We got respect, compassion, and encouragement. This is something that is so lacking in our industry. I think, Jason, you've seen this as you've traveled around the country, projects you've been on. Is respect at a level in our industry where it needs to be yet?
Oh, no, not at all. I heard just real quick, I heard a statistic that the amount of, if you take the construction fatalities and multiply that by four, that's how many people in and around our industry die by suicide. Every time I say that, I'm like, I need to check the study again because that sounds pretty bad. And it is that bad. It really is that bad. We've got people just struggling and divorces and all. So Armando, it looks like you want to say something, but I mean, we are in trouble. Everybody knows, if you think about it, how high do you have to be before you have to tie off? 6 feet. How deep can you be before you have to have shoring? 5 feet. What do you wear when you come on a construction project? Safety glasses. But if I ask the question, how can we take care of ourselves and our mental health? People are like, it's like, well, let's see, hear the crickets there. They're like, I don't know, right? And so we need to talk about it a whole lot more. And I like the point that people are making is that if we don't know how to respect ourselves, this isn't a criticism, but how do we know how to then respect other people? And the answer is there's room to grow. So that's my answer.
That's awesome. It's a perfect answer. Awesome. And this is, I got to say, the audience, thank you for showing up like a boss. Let's give a round to the comments are alive, people. This is the most alive comments I've ever seen. So, Jake, I hope you're taking notes out there for what we're going to do on the next live.
Subtle dig. Anyone? No,
it's not a subtle dig. Jake is continuous improvement minded. So let's go back, baby, and let's jump. You guys got the first two. I want to jump to this one here. I want to jump to L, lawsuit to learning to last planner system. So quick story. I always tell people, like when I'm teaching different things, I like half jokingly say, if you've never been involved in a lawsuit, try to be involved at least one when you're young, so that you will learn things. So one of the things that I want to share about construction litigation or lawsuits is that it led me to my last planner. So like it was being like back completely against the wall on a job is when we got introduced to last planner, because we didn't know any other way to get through this. And so uh, long story short, it settled out of court, but I learned a lot about scheduling, people, that I can't even start to talk about in my tiny time box of 40 minutes left of the stream. So we're not going to go there. I just want to say that lawsuits in construction are the most uh, it could be very not a pleasant thing to be through, not to experience. So you probably know somebody in your circle of friends in the business that have been through one. I would say you have lunch with them and let them talk about lessons learned from that, and so that you don't have to jump to something like last planner system, Scrum, or Tact, or pool planning because of litigation. You can actually just voluntarily reach for it now when things are going well. Like if things are going well and you want things to be even better, then just reach for these nice things now. And a lot of the stuff is totally free. Jason and I both have tons of free resources on our websites for people to take advantage of and learn. And Jason, you've been like epically blogging on the Lean Builder blog and the Lean Construction blog and others. So people, there's resources out there available for you to get these tools and to practice with them. Don't wait to litigate. Go right to learning. Armando, do you have a story you want to share about the L?
Litigation? Yeah, L word. We don't want to take the L, right? So to your point, when I was growing up, I mean, literally when I was following a broom and then to former level and then to superintendent level, I learned so much from somebody who had been through litigation. And that dude was just like, you don't want to do this. You want to do this. And his L led to scheduling, right? And
Right.
I learned so much from his bad experience that it scared me straight before I knew I had to be straight as far as the construction industry. So I was documentation, CYA, we can get into those acronyms, but I mean, if you have people like Jason and like Felipe offering you alternatives and knowledge and education, take advantage. Don't learn the hard way. I mean, thankfully, I mean, Yesenia knows who I'm talking about. Um, Sarah out there in the internets knows who I'm talking about. But I learned so much because that person was willing to share their tough experience. So don't be a hothead. Don't be a know-it-all person. Learn, keep an open mind, talk to people who've been there and done that, and just apply. That's you know, that's my story.
Oh, I love that story. And Kevin says he just coincidentally went to the ABC conference last week. So big focus on mental health. So some of the same things that we're feeling and talking about right now, mind blowing. Check on each other. Make sure we like John is saying, hold space so that people could get help. Sometimes it's just listening. People like check on a friend. And Anthony coming back in, he's been. We've talked about this on Clubhouse a few times about construction lawsuits and the process searching for different people on the team. So there you go. So we've got go ahead, Jason.
I just wanted to say one thing. So in reference to mental health, I had a little epiphany. I wanted to see if you all agreed or had anything similar. But I was, I do a lot of stuff with church, and there's like different cultures that happen there in the spiritual religious world, and there's this concept that people have to be perfect or have this. And I'm not being critical. I'm just saying it just naturally happens. The whole "be ye therefore perfect" thing, which actually, if you go back to the original translation behind those words, is "be ye therefore whole." Interestingly enough, if you go back to the root of the word, it wasn't "be perfect," it was "be whole," or have perfect aim. And I thought that was a really neat thing. And so there are folks that really want to always say, or they've been conditioned to say, "Hey, I'm good, I'm perfect, I'm doing well. Oh no, I'm good, I'm great," right? And I was thinking about it, and I was actually counseling with the youth at church, and I said, it's abnormal, depending on what people believe. Well, actually, no, it's abnormal for everyone to have a perfect life. Like it's abnormal for all of us to have it together. It's abnormal for people to not struggle. It is normal for people, and it's not great, but it's normal for people to be depressed. It's normal for people to have anxiety at different times. It's normal for people to struggle. It's normal for people to have different things going on. And it doesn't mean that it's fun, and it doesn't mean that it helps us, but it does mean that we shouldn't self-shame ourselves. And so the other thing I was telling the youth when I was counseling them, I was like, so that means that you should have a talk with a friend or your parents or your church leaders or somebody that cares and loves you at least 900 times this year. Like, you should say something to somebody a minimum of 1,000 times, right? Because we are going to have trouble. So one of the folks over here in the chat was like, we need to talk about it. We need to make space for it.
Mm-hmm.
It is normal for us to have a messed up life. Like, I'll tell you, and I'll be quick, I get depressed. I had panic attacks until I was 35. Absolutely horrible, pull over on the side of the road. I had one lady try and calm me down because she thought I was going to have a heart attack on the plane. Panic attacks till I was 35, from 18 to 35. This is a common human experience, and the more we stop hiding it and start talking about it, it's going to be better for all of us. And I think, Armando, you said the same thing. So just a real quick revelation for me is it's normal to have trouble, to have difficulties.
It's like they say, my friends, not my quote, but smarter people, good smart people have said, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel, diamond cuts diamond. So, going through those trials and tribulations, like John said, making mistakes, that's how we learn and we grow. That's a positive thing. So if you're struggling, you can glasses half full, look at the opportunity for this experience to be something that shapes you, changes how you grow. Like, people always ask me that went through the lawsuit with me. It was a 10-year process. And they said, this was terrible. And I was like, no, this was great. It was a free education, like free for me. Like, I got to learn so many things that I otherwise would not have learned. Like, I learned, number one, lawyers are paid by the hour. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. So just remember that, people. So when they're asking you things, be quick and fast with the information that they need, because you're spending your company's resources and your ROI is not likely to be that high. So let's go back to the ABCs. We've got from the chat, we had a couple people talking about trust came up, and I've got the S's here. So I just want to get a sense from Armando and Jason, anything here pulling you one way or the other, T or to S?
So I think somebody in the chat talked about trust. I mean, you have to get from respect to trust, and without trust, I mean, what do you really have? I mean, we have to be able to look in the trenches in construction, look at each other, and say, "You got my back, I got your back. Let's go." And it's not just us against them; it's us against the project, and you cannot have that with trust. And nothing, well, hardly anything, chaps my hide than trust being undermined. So I also believe highly in Ronald Reagan, and his mantra was trust but verify. So when Jason talked about that word perfect meaning whole, yes, in the Greek it is teleos, which means complete, as in whole. So I trusted, but I verified. So I have my fact checkers on the side here.
Dude, that gets a round of applause right there. That was awesome.
We've got some fans in the chat, Jason, just chiming in. For Matt, who down in St. Louis.
I love that guy.
Words of Jason, stop just saying you're fine. Don't say you're fine. And then we got George piling in saying, Jason is right. Let's record this forever. Jason, let's remember that today someone said Jason is right.
Yeah, that's not going to happen again.
Normal to struggle. That's what it means to be human.
One thing I was wrong about is that that everybody struggles. I may have been wrong because, Felipe, I think you're an eternal optimist, and maybe you turn everything to a positive.
I wasn't always that way too. Like, when I was younger, I was the opposite way. And it was like when I went, I can't pinpoint when it actually happened, but I went to the other side. And once I got to experience this side, I said, I'm never going back to that side. This is the side.
Yeah.
This for me. For me, this is the side to be on. So that's why I try to turn everything that happens this way. Yeah. Is that a high five, Armando?
And a raise hand, but yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, so I think it's an interesting dynamic because it is normal to struggle. And so when you get into and it can be negativity, but you, Felipe, you chose to bring your own weather. You chose the C word. You chose We have a choice in how
Right.
we respond to circumstances, and that goes a long way. It's not saying that it's not tough. It's not saying that it doesn't suck. But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to ourselves to, if you're struggling, share that. Don't just say I'm fine. That's what we say in the chat. Be true to yourself and be true to others. And you know what? If you are struggling, be the V word, right? My V word, it's not vulnerable, but it kind of close. It's vision for me, because I think the vision gets you can be vulnerable as you use vision, because without vision, the good book says the people perish. You got to have that vision. You got to choose your own weather. Then you can deal with what you need to deal with, but you can't do so without being vulnerable. So shout out to Jennifer. I know she loves me. V is for vulnerable, but it's also for vision and for other things as well.
And while we're shouting out to Jennifer, Dr. M, we might as well tell you that for Jennifer, C stands for culture, as it does for Adam Hoots as well. So just shout out to Adam. Jennifer. C is for
I remember a time when Adam did not even want to use the word lean. So here we are.
Here we are.
So is Adam here with us? Because is that why I feel so good? Like, is that why I can breathe easy? I don't know if he's here, but I do want to tease him a little bit. Adam hates every word. And I hope he hears that. He's the best human being on earth, but boy, he does not like words.
I like
Yeah,
that.
he's awesome.
He's the
That John Jorgensen, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one, John. These words are connected.
There he goes.
Look, here's Adam. This is what he thinks about culture. So he is here.
I told you.
I'm so glad you're here. It must have been like his ears were burning, and then Jake has been surprisingly well in this chat, like very, very formal. I wonder if he's getting a lot of DMs right now, Jason, and that's why he can't keep up with the conversation as we go. But I do want
true story with Jake, real quick. Be careful what you ask for with Jake. He came to our job site and I asked him to be critical, and he did not disappoint, is what I'm saying. So thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. I'm using continually what you brought to the table with our team and moving forward. So I appreciate everything you did, every kick you gave me to the face. Thanks so much.
There you go. Yep. That's Jake. He does not disappoint. So I'm glad that Dr. M and Adam are going to have they need to get together on a separate deal in this chat. Like Dr. M, that for Adam to unpack that, it's going to take time. But let's go back to the construction ABC. So I want to make sure we make some more space for Armando and Jason to share another story. I shared about that litigation, and in that litigation, people, I just want to say like where I got my flavors for understanding critical path or what it really is. It's completely aligned with Jason's understanding of critical path, and this is why we are so hyper focused on critical flow. Jason, you'd be proud of me. I was doing a presentation this week, and I mentioned your name, like just multiple times, and also talked about the importance of critical flow, and that should be our focus. And if we focus on that, even if you do, and Spencer's going to quote me on this, even if you do tact poorly, but you focus on flow, you're going to come out so much better with your project because you're focused on the 3 types of flow, Jason. They are, number 1, workflow, baby. That's right. Trade flow. Number 2, Armando, do you know the third flow?
Man, you know I don't. Why you do that to
Just
me,
to
bro?
Hey, Felipe, for your shout out there, this is what I'm going to give you. That's awesome. That's the hollow. You can't hear that?
No, we can't hear. Is it the harp?
Sorry.
Oh, never mind. If you can't,
I'll harp it for you. I think your streaming deal is not it's not porting in. So you just tell me what sounds you need, Jason. I'll bring it for you. Yeah.
It was the hallelujah one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But yeah, I'm glad you're talking about critical flow. I'm kind of. I'll talk to you about anything. Like
yes, please.
Even R-rated stuff, like whatever you want. But like
we have
critical path, like I'm just kind of done talking about it because like, everybody knows that it's fake. So like there's just. I loved your comment. I loved your comment, Felipe, where you're like, Jason said critical path scheduling kills people. And you know what? I'm just going to own it right there.
Yeah,
It
that's right.
doesn't measure anything real on any level. And it is going down. Like in a couple of years, it will all be tax planning, last planner, and Scrum. And Scrum doesn't mean that it's at the last part. It doesn't mean it's the least important. It means
That's
that
right.
those are the three, baby, right there.
I know. I don't care how people get there, Jason, just like you, so long as they have fun getting there. People enjoy the ride. And Yesenia said she heard the harp, she heard the angels, the hallelujah.
Oh, she did? Yeah, thank you.
She heard the hallelujah. So,
Yeah,
so
good
she heard
person
it.
right
So
there.
let's go back to I mean, if you've not understood, people go back to see the season episode where Jason and I talk about tact, and there's plenty of good stuff out there. And go to Jason's YouTube channel, Lean Tact, and there's a lot of great videos that'll tell you an alternative so that you can have flow in your life. Well, let's go back to the ABCs. I'm going to bring the ABCs up, and I'm just going to ask Jason and Armando, what letter tickles your fancy next? And it's not this guy. This guy's on fire, so don't go there.
Armando, do you want to lead us off, buddy?
Well, my B is for broker, because that's the type of superintendent I am, and I own it. Not that I like it, but I'm a broker. What do you have to say about that, Jason?
I would say that if you realize it, you're probably not that.
Oh.
I don't know. You keep teasing me about this. I don't know what you're.
So okay, let's unpack it. So let's take it from an inside joke, just so everybody understands. So Armando, where did you hear this term broker said? What was the context?
I happened to be reading a book. The author kind of slipped in my mind. Something about Elevate Construction Superintendents. Oh, Jason wrote that.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay,
That's
so
where
Jason,
Jason, can you take it from there?
Yeah, it was just that. So first of all, just real quick in my defense, I do believe in the fluffy stuff and winning people over, but sometimes people need singed eyebrows. So like one time I was doing a superintendent boot camp and they're like, "Whoa, Jason, that's a little bit rough," and I'm like, "Consider the audience. Like we've got lots of PMs out there, like they're soft and gentle and they're beautiful people and I'm talking to like cold hard a-hole superintendents, one of which I am, and so like I'm gonna tell it like it is, and I'm like, brokers, if you're a broker, you're just like dispatching people, but builders, they know what they're doing, they've got the training, they've done the time, they learn scheduling, they've been there, they've done that, they know, right? And I just like, we've got kids on quick rant, not very long. We've got kids that come out of college and they're like, I want to be hired as a superintendent. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want to spend 3 or 4 years as a field engineer. You want to go work with these craft, or else you're going to get stuck halfway through your career. Otherwise, you're not going to be a builder. We want builders that know how to piece things together, know what they're doing, know how to schedule. We don't want brokers. And the other joke that I give that I think Armando's teasing me about is that if we have superintendents, they're out there just pointing and saying, "Go here, go." Oh, there's missing gas. Oh, go get gas. Like, I didn't need you to say that. Like, I don't need you here. Like, a foreman could do that. You might as well go work at Walmart as a security guard because I don't need you. So I think there's.
Well, real talk, no shame to those of people that work at Walmart. We're not talking down to people.
We need you at Walmart, but we don't need you on a construction site if that's all you can do. So like, I'm just saying there's builders and there's brokers. And the reason it's such a big deal to me is like people are like, Jason kind of mean. That dude like to fight a lot. No, it's if we're gonna make a change, we need the fluffy and we need some singed eyebrows. And I want the stupidness in construction to stop. And so I want the
100%.
brokering. And Armando, if you're bringing this up and on this live stream with us, I doubt you're a broker.
So let's to be fair to myself.
Before Armando goes in, ladies and gentlemen, Armando and I had a meeting yesterday, and when this was so Jake, just so you know, the earliest I've ever made a mural for our live. He's got his cup, but we talked about this yesterday, Jason. So this is something that like you said, you got the singed eyebrows. No, we didn't set you up, but this is something Armando wrote about in his book. He's got a little book where he wrote some of these things down, and it's a good contrast. So I think for some people, and I used to work for a big GC in my early career where they tend to hire people to do everything, and they're not known for building things. That's just that's their business model. So there's a place for brokers, but what Jason's talking about is taking people, and specifically in his book, which I read. Jason, it's a great book. I love Jason. Nothing but hearts. But for people that don't know that's an option, like, can you, even if you're in that type of business model, you can get into the trenches with the crews, with the craftspeople, and start to elevate your learning and understand how components come together. There is a massive value in that. So I just wanted to unpack a little bit. Armando's not picking on you. We didn't set you up, Jason,
Okay,
but
that's
he feels sensitive to this. So go ahead, Armando.
Well,
Well, I
Armando's a
mean,
man.
if the shoe fits, right? So I'm holding it. But as far as B is concerned to me, I mean, and this is a realization, and this is what I want to do. I'm a builder, but I feel as if I'm a builder of teams. So that builder, not the broker, actually goes out there and is set up for success along. So shout out to Casey. You're doing it, baby. I see you. You know it. Keep on doing what you're doing, buddy.
There you go.
Is
So,
that you said? Are you shouting out to Casey Turner?
That's right.
Yeah, I like that.
Ex-Marine.
So,
Yes, sir.
Casey said, "Does that mean CPM schedules will stop being used? No more. I'm officially saying CPM is going down. It's going abajo. Like they are going out, and
afuera.
I am going to. Well, we all, but I'm telling you, if I was last man standing, CPM is going down. There isn't a single redeeming aspect of the scheduling system. So." And you can either get on the bus or get left behind, baby. Because
My man.
in a couple of years, we're going to be building stuff right. We're going to turn this thing around. Anyway, go ahead. But
turn
Armando,
this shit around. So this is what we feel for CPM right here.
yeah.
Okay,
So can I say one more thing? Please,
absolutely.
please. So somebody the other day was like, and I love this person, so they can't get mad at me, but this person was like, Jason, you've got to have respect for people. Your toilet paper post about CPM was a little disrespectful. And if you believe in having respect for people, you shouldn't have associated CPM schedules with toilet paper. And I was thinking about that. And nobody would ever say, Jason, you were a little bit mean to those drug dealers. Like nobody would say, Jason, like those abusers of children, you should be nicer to them. Like, or, hey, those cigarette companies, like, you shouldn't say anything bad about them. Like, no, like, of course I'm going to call it out. Like, this is a bad thing. Like, and so if I don't get in trouble for criticizing drug dealers, I shouldn't be criticized for criticizing CPM. Like, there is no respect for people in that. So I had to say it. Go ahead, Felipe.
No, I'm just, people, if you're out there and you're currently making your living in CPM, what Jason is not criticizing you, the person, and the job you do. We're criticizing a method of planning and scheduling that was devised for a completely different circumstance, not fit for purpose in construction. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying, people.
And you have a 2-year window. If you don't get a new job and a new skill in 2 years, then we will. I'm just kidding.
He's making predictions here. And Jason,
look at Jason Spector coming through with the hot sports opinion. Go ahead.
Look at that. He said the first page of the schedule and the last page of the schedule matter. I've been fighting CPM my whole career.
Boom.
Yeah.
Jason's my man.
Keep alive, man. Keep alive.
Love you, brother. Love you.
What's our next letter? What's our next letter?
What's our next letter? People still want to go back to L. And lawyers getting offended. Lawyers love CPM schedules, by the way. I've been to a couple construction management conferences with a lot of lawyers, and CPM is a case for schedulers. So we got the jokes in, but let's go to the board.
Schedulers Anonymous. That's so funny.
Let's go to the board and see what we got here. So I think we might want to go to. I might think we might need to take a stop right here at K. K for kindness, to kudos, to KISS. So Armando, kick this one off for us.
Okay, so in the utopian world, right? We could all be kind and we could all get our job done. Does that happen on the job site, Jason? Does that happen on the job site, Felipe?
No.
But I advocate for it. I'm a true believer, and K is for kindness. in my book, we can get the better results by being kind to one another. So going back even to the B word, benefit. If people just gave the other person the benefit of the doubt, and you're kind, and you don't assume negative motives, the results just speak for themselves, because then you have a team environment. And I'm sorry, Adam, but culture is huge. You create the culture that you want, and when kindness is king, you get awesome results. Everybody's happy, and you work to live, not live to work. So that's my rant.
So Adam loves culture. He just doesn't like the word labeling it. So just to be clear, Adam is a culture king. I love that kindness. Real quick, so there's this little game. I don't know if anybody's played it, but you can play it with your groups where you get 20 pennies, a box, and some blindfolds. You take 3 people, put them out outside, and you bring one at a time, and you say, "Hey, throw these pennies 20 feet away into the box," but they're blindfolded. And the first group will be negative, like, "Hey, dummy, blah blah blah," and they don't get a single penny. Out of all the times that I've played this game, they don't get a single penny in the box. The second round, second person comes in, nobody says anything, dead silent, not a single penny in the box. Third round, they're like, "Hey, just a foot to the left," or, "Hey, you're doing good, bud," or sis, or whatever, They get at least half the pennies in, and that's always stuck out to me, that like, you will get more with encouragement and kindness in those things, in those environments, simply because that's how humans work. And so even if somebody was selfish and was like, "I want more pennies in my job site box, I want more work done," even if it was a selfish motive, you're going to get more done by being kind to other human beings. And I will say that goes back to the B, the builder and broker. And I believe that you do this, Armando, so I'm not teasing you, but a builder has the confidence to be vulnerable and kind during a coordination meeting and negotiating vertically aligned schedules. A broker will get defensive, not know what's going on, push people, and start the contention. And so I'm wanting supers trained well enough to where they can have 13 foremen talking different ways, maybe even being abrasive, and still be kind, and still find the win-win, and still be vulnerable, like Jen and Jess say, and really get that outcome. And I wasn't always perfect at it, but I can promise you, to your point, Armando, it can be done, and that's where we're heading. So that's my quick comment.
Just going there. Perfect. And I think Yeseni's going to transition us into the next round of this live stream. We're going to go to your beautiful questions and answers, but she's got it said so well. It can and should happen, and quoted Aesop down there, so you all can check that out. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Armando, you high-fiving me, or you got a question?
Just real quick, high five both, fist bump. So to the KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? So we don't want to do that, but here's a new thing that I hope that it sticks. So it's not the stupid people, it's the people stupid.
Wow.
I like that.
So while we let that sink in, go ahead, Jason.
Oh, sorry. If you're going in a different direction, I can wait.
No, we got it. So go ahead and take it.
Okay.
And then people, if you got a question, get your questions in the chat while Jason talks. Go for it, Jason.
So just real quick, I found out I wasn't old enough to watch the movie really quickly, but I had seen a video clip of Roadhouse. And I quickly realized that I'm not old enough to watch the movie. So I didn't. Everybody just want to let you know. But I saw a clip where he was like teaching he was the cooler and they were the bouncers in the movie. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but if you are, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I haven't seen the whole movie. But he said he was like, if somebody is acting out of line in the bar, walk them and be nice. And if you can't walk them, get help, and somebody else will help you walk them. But I want you to be nice. And then he says, and he just keeps going on. He's like, the guys are like, you want me to be nice, right? And I want to make the point that if you're kind and loving and you care about workers and you're that multiplier leader, that doesn't mean that you have to put up with people's. It doesn't mean that. Did you hear the beep, by the way, Felipe?
I did.
Beep, beep, beep.
Okay. In my mind,
it doesn't mean. Yeah. So if there's a trade partner or somebody that's being wildly unsafe, and if you let them keep going, they're going to kill themselves, and you need to walk them lovingly, then literally this is the approach. I love you. I literally say that on the job site. I love you, man. I can't let you work out here on the top of the ladder. We're going to go get you the training. We're going to get you whatever, but we're not continuing this. So when people are like, oh, lean, and both of you haven't said it, but lean means, you just gotta, trust and ask and listen. And, sometimes you need to enforce, but be nice, right? So I'm like, I love you, bro, but we got to do orientation. We got to get you through training. I do want to make the point that in lean construction, like if you go to Toyota or BMW or Paul Akers or whatever, they don't put up with any crap, but they're nice and they're kind. But we have to have standards, and we have to 100% hold the line. So lean does not automatically mean that we put up with crap. What it means is we find a way through incentive and through having standards to be kind and to do it in an appropriate way that's based out of respect and not punishment. That's my message.
It's a beautiful message. That gets gets a sound effect and some applause. So I got the first question that came in through the back channels is for Armando because he's drinking his cup, and that is, Armando, what vision do you have for the future of construction?
Oh, if you build it, they will come, right? I mean, it literally, I envision utopia. That's what I envision, where everybody's on the same page. And yes, there is kumbaya. You know, it is you have to, like Stephen Covey said, you begin with the end in mind. I've got a vision of where we're going. You look out in this world, it's horrible, but I see beyond that because I know there's a future beyond that. And so that's my vision for construction and for everybody on this earth as a whole. There's more to come, and it's just not what we see right now. So that's my vision.
Sorry, look at that. We got James coming out with the love for everybody. So Jason, you get we've asked you, we've peppered you with questions. Jason, do you have any questions for me or Armando?
How do you get an industry that needs something to want it?
Oh, good question. Armando, you ready? Because I'll take it if you're not ready yet.
So I'm going to default to Jesse. It's the P word, pain. If they want to listen and they want to apply, it should be painless. But if you want to learn the hard way, pain is where you learn.
I got a P word for the industry too, and it's perspective. If you want people to see something and have an experience, sometimes you have to pull them out of the system that they're inside of so they can have a different view of what they're living in every single day and see that there are options for them within their span of control that they can absolutely change and have a better, more elevated, to use Jason's words, existence in construction, because we can set our standards anywhere we want. And like Jason said, like we should be setting higher standards for ourselves and for our projects and for the way that we show up at work so that you can have way more fun at work. So perspective, that's my P word.
Yeah.
How about you,
That's
Jason?
awesome.
What's it for you?
What, the answer to my question?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I asked the question. So like, I spend
Armando, just drink out.
I spend like $850 a week having people help me with social media so I can try and get a message out. So obviously I don't know what I'm doing. So like, if anybody knows, I mean, I think there's plenty of pain out there, but people are, so Jesse's right, but there's so much pain out there and people are just dealing with it. But, you're right. And I think you, Felipe, said the system is perfectly designed to get the results that we're getting. And and that's why I had such a fun time with Adam at, what is that? Kurt at Construction Users Roundtable. Yeah. Is that I was talking to owners and they're embracing tact and last planner and Scrum, and I'm like, I'm so proud of you because your contracts, the old contracts with CPM, are perfectly designed. Can I say a partially bad word?
Yeah, you can say it. This is not a kitchen.
Sorry. Yeah. It says ABCs, but I mean, so these contracts are perfectly designed to screw the contractors that are on site. The no float, CPM schedule, shared float, you have to have a critical path, garbage stupidness is designed to screw the general contractor. And then we were taught in school, here's how you live life. Since we're getting screwed, let's screw the trade partners. And then the trade partners are the ones getting screwed. So I said that maybe I should stop. But like, this has got to stop. Like, so I am asking the owners to stop with these stupid contracts and to stop with the CPM language, stop with the critical path. Real quick, and Felipe, shut me down after this if you want to, but if I was going to the schedule store, I'm like, look at that schedule, look at that. Do you have a schedule that has a critical path where if one activity is delayed, the whole project's delayed, and I don't have any fluff, and I'm literally screwed if one thing goes wrong? Do you have one of those? Let me go get it. Oh, I'll take that one. I'll buy that one. Yeah. Nobody would do that. That's stupid. Nobody. So, like, we have to stop the madness. Like, task planning, buffers, last planner, Scrum, all day long.
All day.
CPM is on its way out. It has to stop. Yeah. So there you go.
No, that's beautiful. So I want to thank you both for coming on, spending the time with me to unpack some of the construction ABCs. There's definitely enough here that we can do this all the time, every week, but we won't, ladies and gentlemen. We won't. But do send us your comments, and if you have questions that you didn't get to ask, get your questions in because we will be answering them. Jason, Armando, and I, we are relentless engagement professionals, and we will engage. We want to hear your questions, get your answers. And Armando, where can people find you outside of the show?
So little known fact, I'm trying to get off of social media. So if you want to look up my name, you can on LinkedIn. But other than that, I'm in the DFW area. Holler at me if you know me. If you want to know me,
So if you know, you know. I just got his phone number like yesterday, so don't even feel like and look at what happened. Jason, where's a good place for people to find you?
Oh, you can call me at 602-571-8987 or email me at jasons@elevateconstructionist.com or visit me at my home at 8911 North 18th Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona, 85021. Just don't slash my tires. You can come in and grab a soda. You can take anything you want, whatever. So you can get a hold of me anywhere. I do have one quick little thing. So we have social media all over the place. If you check on my LinkedIn post, there's a little thing that says websites, and then it has all the links there, something I think I learned from Felipe Engineer Manriquez. But I do want to say that I'm at podcast number 560, and I'm wanting more builders. So anybody listening to this or that does listen to this, if you're a builder and you have a story to share, I want to showcase you. I want your videos on my YouTube channel. I want your voice on the podcast. I want your stories. And so we're going to do a whole lot more of that. So please reach out to me. We'll get those messages out there. In fact, I just posted a video on the YouTube channels today for Mike Truelove for some cool things that he's doing.
Oh my God. I just met Mike Truelove in real life, Jason. In Phoenix not 2 weeks ago. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. He talked about that. So anyway, I just get a hold of me however you want. I love people, and we want to do this together.
Hey, Jason.
Me, yeah, of course, Armando, you're going to get on his show. People, you can get a hold of me at thefelipe.bio.link or just and any social media. If you're watching this now, click on my name. It'll get you to all my links. You'll get to my free content, my free Scrum training. Scrum. I can't say Scrum enough, Jason. You just know that to be the case. I'm in Scrum heaven every time Jason and I together. And this whole thing was Scrum. But do check that out, the show. And also, in case you don't know, I have a podcast as well. Jason is coming back on my show. We're going to review, deep dive, go into his book, TAC Planning. It's one of my favorite books. Jason, I'm reading it for the third time.
I love that. Yeah. And you're going to love the new superintendent book we got coming out. It is all about people. It's about building teams, and it's all about the fluffy stuff before I talk about the system. You're going to love it. So.
All right, say bye, everybody.
Bye. Love Jason is a real Mike.
Very special thanks to my guest. I'm Felipe Engineer Manriquez. The EBFC show is created by Felipe and produced by a passion to build easier and better. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, everybody. Let's go build.